What's going on, everyone? Back here with the DR. I'm going to be honest with you. I really couldn't find new rockers and the shafts that they go on for this. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic that we're in. There's a shortage of them somewhere. All the warehouses are depleted. Actually, I can get the intake, but I can't get the exhaust. And there's one of each of these pins on eBay for 25 bucks a piece, but I'm not just gonna buy the pins and an intake because I need the exhaust too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this back together. I'm actually going to try to put the valves in a little bit of a tight spec. Usually I shoot for the middle, but I'm gonna try to make them as tight as I can get away with. I mean, the braking, I mean, I might have to adjust them a little bit more down the road, but it may take some of that rattle out. Another thing is I was able to get these spring washers here, and they're like 93 cents a piece, so I got those. I got two new spark plugs, some crush washers for the oil lines, but just these two springs in here tighten these up a lot. Like they don't move back and forth anymore, so that could have been a little bit of it. I mean, it's the best I can do right now. So I'm just going to put it back together, get those valves within spec, and I'm just going to ride it for the rest of the year. And then around winter time, I might look again to see if I can't find them then. But I got this to do tonight. I have to check out the air filter because I'm running a K&N on it. It's what came on the bike. I'm super unhappy with the way that it fits. It's a stupid design. I really haven't been a fan of K&Ns, but I'm kind of riding this on the road a lot more than in the dirt. The only dirt it's going to see is fire roads. Or maybe some ATV trails here and there, but not mostly just dirt roads and riding back and forth to work. So K&N I think is fine as long as I maintain it. I'm just afraid of how loose it fits in there and the way that it seals on the outer ring itself. And then I have these. I got a set of tires here I got for it. Cheap Shinkos. What are they? Shinko 244s. Yeah. Like 94 bucks for the two of them. There's Dunlop D606s on it right now. A little too aggressive, I think, for the road. And they're kind of getting choppy. Knobs on it, I'm going to get rid of those. See if I can get some of that vibration out of it, because I can barely see my GPS because it's vibrating so much. So I got that stuff to do tonight. I think I can stay busy. So stay tuned. If you don't already use this stuff for just about everything, you should start. Yamabond 4. It's awesome because it's semi-drying. It's an RTV. It smells good, and I honestly think it is some of the best stuff. I use it to glue my cases together. Any bit where I think there's going to be an air leak, like in an O-ring or something like that, I'll put some of that stuff on. It seals oil. It's fuel retardant. It's amazing stuff. It works awesome, and you can always peel it off. It's easy to scrape off. It's a really good gasket material. Right now I have probably too much of a bead around the outside here. There's not that much oil pressure going through there. There still is oil pressure and vibration and things like that. You're just trying to just seal it in there. And when I took it off, there wasn't much. I mean, look at this. I didn't even really clean this. I just sprayed it down a little bit. The surfaces are pretty flat, pretty flush with each other. They should be good to go. So I'm just gonna slam this on there, torque the heads down, and then get into the valve specs. All right, this is all torqued down. I'm going to go ahead and take a rag and clean up all of this shmoo that kind of squeezed out, which I knew it was going to squeeze out anyways. Go around, clean that off, hit it with some shop salve, make it look professional at that point. And then put these caps back on here, put the oil lines back on, and then I'll go ahead and check the valve clearances. They seem to be, the intake here seems to be pretty tight. I mean, it's loose, you can hear it, but the exhaust seems to be pretty loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and double check those, make sure they're on the tight side like I said, and then we'll go from there. I got my valves all adjusted. I'm not gonna show you how we did that. It's really simple. YouTube it. I might make a video later on if I need to adjust them again, but now's not the time. Spoiler, you just need one of these tools and it makes your life a hell of a lot easier. So this one is a 10 millimeter and a 4, I think. So either way, that's what you need. I got my engine mount, my upper engine mount on and torqued, blue Loctited, caps on, oil lines on, new spark plugs in, gapped and installed. Next thing I really need to do is put the tank on, and then before I put the seat back on, I'm going to pull the air filter out of it, check that, kind of modify that. I'll check back in when I get to there. So alright, the tank's back on. She's not going anywhere. This is one of the things that is kind of my pet peeve too, is air filters, air filters, air filters. I race 2-strokes. You need to keep your air filter clean and serviced for it to run. If it gets dirty and dirt gets past that into the engine, a 2-stroke is done. That's it. You're going to lose power. You're probably not going to notice it, and it's going to blow up. Well, not necessarily like big kaboom, but it's just, you're going to have a meltdown, you're going to have wear, and dirt doesn't belong inside of an engine. So, air filters, air filters, air filters. This one has a K&N on it. You can see the previous owner cut this huge hole in the top of it here. And if you look, you can see the gap right here. I got it packed with grease. But if I push right here, it's not in there very good. So I gotta investigate that and see if I can't get a better fit, make it literally just fit better and not open that gap up. So, okay, so this is the design. This little wedge clip deal slides onto this bolt right here. Then you tighten it down and it's supposed to hold the filter against the wall there, which it doesn't. So I think the only solution would be to get like a piece of, I know they make filter gaskets for my YZ and for KTMs. I forget the company. I'm gonna have to, actually Morgan at Highland Cycles just put one on his KTM and he loves it. And I think it's like maybe 3/16 of an inch thick. Instead of greasing the rim of your filter, you can put this little gasket on there and it's supposed to help you and whatnot. But that would give a little bit of room over here, pushing the filter back to where I think there's a little bit of that play. The other problem is this standoff here is real weak. Like I can move it with my fingers here, and I just think it's kind of a shitty design. So I think I'm gonna see if I can find one of those gaskets and put that in there. I'm gonna re-grease it, get it in there the best that I can, and hope for the best. All right, the seat's back on this. Number plates are back on. I'm not going to put the saddlebags back on it yet because I'm actually trying to get away from using the saddlebags. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I'm commuting. All I need is the rack for my lunch bale. And I'm thinking about making a tool tube It's like 3 or 3.5 inch inner diameter tube, about 16 to 18 inches long. I'm pretty sure I can fit my toolkit in there, and maybe like a tube or something like that. And then if I know it's gonna rain or something like that, I can always wear a backpack with my rain gear, or just strap it onto the side. I might leave these on. I don't know yet. I'm just kind of experimenting with some things, but trying to lighten the bike up a little bit for commuting. But now we're gonna move on to mounting the new tires, and I gotta balance them. I'm gonna check the true on them, clean them up a little bit, and I just thought I'd like to. I'm gonna start with the back tire, and the thing that I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use tools out of my kit, because every once in a while it's good to practice that, just to make sure you actually have all the right tools to change both tires and put a tube in them. Not necessarily put a tube, but if you need to patch it, things like that, you just need to be able to get that tire off and get to that tube, get to that puncture, and be able to move on from there. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking the tire off with just these tools. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do since I got this wheel off is I'm going to remove the wheel weights off the rim here, because it probably won't be needing that many or these ones at all. So I'm just going to remove those, clean up that area, both sides, and then I'll go ahead and start unmounting this wheel. Alright, I got the new wheel, or the new tire mounted, tubes in there, it's holding air. I have like 17 psi in it. It's got enough to beat, and you know, we're holding shape. It's going to be in the spot that it needs to be. Got my wedge block set here. It's tight, it's in there. You can see the rim lock is actually the heaviest point, which obviously, I gotta tighten that up yet. Obviously, but here you can, I'll put it at, you can see how important having these extra bearings here, not just relying on, because look at that one's not even moving, but these are moving. So if you try to do it on your bike, it's not going to work because you have the drag of the chain and everything like that. So all I'm going to end up doing is, we'll put it right here in the center. We'll put the rim lock here at the bottom. 180 out, so up here we are going to put some weights. I'll just tape them there temporarily, and then see if it balances out. Basically just to balance it, all that I really do is I'll put the weights up here, I'll tape it, and then I'll put it at the 6 or the 3 and 9 o'clock position and let go and see if it moves. If it moves, then I gotta put more weights over here to counter the rim lock. For the front, I won't do that because I'm actually taking the rim lock out, but I still have the valve stem there, so I might need a little bit of weight. So that's what I do in the front. I'm not going to be braking that heavy. The rear is going to feel a lot of the torque, because if I get into it, things like that, and I don't want to spin the rim and get a flat tire that way. So I'm going to go ahead and tape these things up, and we'll gotta put you down somewhere. I don't know how this is going to work. Actually, I think it's a little heavy, but if you look, rim lock's right here, weights are over here. We're sitting pretty good there. Check this one. We'll put it right there. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, it seems to be maybe a whisker heavy. I like it. I'll keep it. 2 full sticks. Mount it back up, and then we'll do the front tire. Alright, I got the tires mounted now, balanced, trued to my ability. They're off-road rims, so they're not going to be like super awesome and straight, but these are actually pretty nice. They're pretty good. A little bit of a dinger in one of them that was kind of throwing me off, but it's not a big deal. They're mounted. I got to put the correct tire pressure in them tomorrow morning. It's like 1:45 at night, well, in the morning, so I'm not going to fire up the air compressor. My skid plate's still off here. I actually want to check the oil pressure while I can. That's one thing that I was kind of like a little worried about, making sure that the oil's actually getting up top. So, but other than that, I think I'm pretty good. I'm ready to ride it now. I mean, I just got to check the oil pressure, and then I got to figure out the windscreen angle. That's one thing I kind of got to mess around with a little bit, see if I can get that buffeting off of my head. And then a visor for my GPS, just because when the sun's coming down, I have to like put my hand over it or kind of block the sun to see it. And I think if I make like a little bit of I have it right here. Got a piece of plastic here that I'm just going to try to form around it, put Velcro around it, see if I can't get it to just block enough sun so I can see where I'm going, see if there's a turn coming up, or even just see where the next turn is and how far away it is. So, but yeah, that's it. That's cruising along. Kind of bummed I wasn't able to put rockers in it or those pins, but I know they're a little worn. So hopefully that valve adjustment will quiet it down a bit. And those spring washers, that'd be sweet if that was actually the problem and the wear's just showing itself. Other than that, I think I'll call it a night.